So, if you can, look for this book to get, becoming a high impact leader. In fact, I'll read from 123. I showed us the music video of David. What happened to David? He murdered his who? His girlfriend. All right. And I'm started talking about leadership. Leadership, one word to describe leadership is what? Influence. And I said you should say to yourself that you have what? Influence. Everybody's a leader. You make people do things. I don't know what you make people do. Ask your classmate, what do you make people do? Ask the person sitting beside you, what do you make people do? Some people have gotten into trouble countless times in this school because of their classmates or their friend. So that's what is called what? Influence. Influence can be positive or what? It can be good or bad influence. So our goal at the end of the day, please listen, is to ensure no matter what we do, the effects we're having on people are what? Good. So one of the principles discussed in chapter 9, the principle of influence. Leadership is not primarily about positions, titles, or power. It is about influence. Influence is the silent force behind every lasting change, every inspired action, and every movement that matters. It is the ability to move people not by coercion, but by conviction, not by manipulation, but by inspiration. While titles may give you authority, so when you come into the place of position or power, for example, we used to have a lake, Jabi Lake, park, where everybody can go, just chill. But somebody in the place of authority has decided to do what? I give that lake up to a private, wherever, company. So they bought that place. So we don't know if that place is going to be accessible, to the public or not. It's now a private owned what? Property. All right. So that is only possible because somebody has authority to make that happen. Whether it is, in line with the people's wish or against the people's words. So what did I say of authority? It is influence that ends you followership. People may obey a title, but they will only follow a life. True influence does not begin on the stage or behind the microphone. It begins in the shadows of daily decisions. It is not about being impressive. It is about being impactful. The kind of influence that transforms lives and reshapes the environment is not loud. It is rooted. It flows from a life marked by authenticity, integrity, consistency, and value. Influence is what happens when your life becomes louder than your words. All right, it goes on and saying the most impactful leaders are not those who force people to follow. They are those who live in a way that people want to follow. Their influence is not built on pressure, but on presence. They are not driven by applause, but by purpose. Their words carry weight because their lives carry substance. These leaders understand that what you say matters, but how you live matters more. They lead not from platforms, but from personal credibility. So beside what you say, beside what you portray, how you live matters most importantly. And it is the reason why we have to be very mindful when we start, when we go about our daily life, having in the mind that people are watching you. Your dress style, your use of language, your choices, your decisions, in a subtle way, is being influenced by someone, whether you want to admit or not. And you also have influence on somebody. So let's be a positive influence. That's the whole idea. Let's make people do good things. Let's make people become better. I remember, 2 years ago, my wife completed a master's degree, in engineering management in a German university. It was a stretch, but I pushed her today because I know she has the potential. And she's super excited having completed it because she was recognized in her company. Our boss couldn't believe that she was still working full time while doing a master's degree. It was online. Thank you very much for clapping. It was quite impressive. What are you making people do? Ask yourself this question. You don't have to answer. Since I've been existing, since my days in service school, what is that positive thing I've made somebody do? Does anybody have the answer? You had a positive impact on somebody. You made somebody become better in something. You made somebody stop doing something negative. and start doing something what? Positive. So that's the whole concept of influence. Today, quickly, we're going to look at the 5 levels of leadership. But every single class, I want you to remember that word that starts with I, influence. And you don't have to have a position or a title. You already have influence. Somebody admires you, believe it or not. One way or the other, somebody is looking up to you, somebody is watching you, somebody is, trying to mimic you or copy your lifestyle. Give them something good to copy. So there are 5 levels of leadership. They all start with P. All right. Position leadership, permission level, production level of leadership, people development level of leadership, and pinnacle. Where we want to get to is here and even beyond. All right. The likes of Nelson Mandela got to that point where he was admired. He was one of the person who's during his burial, he gathered the most world leader in a particular location. No one has gathered for anyone like that, like they did for, late Nelson Mandela, because of what he stood for, what he represented. You know, people think about him and think about so many positive things he contributed, not just to South Africa, but to what? To the world at large. He influenced people in so many ways. So the first one is position. This is one I was talking about. When you are placed in a place of authority, you are the class rep. You have the power to write people's name down. All right, or you have the power to make people do things. This is the first level. Sometimes you don't have to do anything. Maybe you are the available. Please come and listen. You are the one available for that position. Who would like to be the SRC or whatever it is, and you're the only one that raised up your hand? So you got into that position, not necessarily because you are the people's choice or your qualification, but because you are what? You are available. Thank you very much. Sometimes people run away from leadership, but it's quite important that we embrace. Leadership is also responsibility. It's also saying, beyond my own life, I'll ensure that I do everything possible in my human capacity to make sure things go right for every other person. That is the true spirit of leadership. That's position level. They have to. Permission level. Okay, for this level, people follow you because they have to. Because you are the SRC or you're the one standing or you're the one in the office. The next level is permission. That's to do with relationship. When you start getting into, caring about people's feeling, you give attention to the people, to the plights of the people, to their, concerns. You listen to what they're saying. You take on board whatever it is that is, bothering them. And people begin to follow you because they want to, because they see you as somebody that does what? That cares. That's all. Caring is very powerful. What? That listens. That listens, that cares, that relates, that understands, and tries to be considerate in making decisions. Next level is production. Results. Sometimes people follow you or people admire you because you command results. I saw a podcast. I can't remember his name, but he was interviewing CR7 Cristiano Ronaldo, and Cristiano Ronaldo he was comparing himself with Donald Trump because he visited the White House not so long ago. So he was saying he thinks he's the most famous, popular person in the world. First of all, he's the most followed person on Instagram. So, but it's most likely not part of the truth. You're most likely not doubting if he says that. Why do people follow Ronaldo so much, whether they're into football or not? Why is Kim Kardashian following Ronaldo? Does she like football? Why? One of the things you cannot take away from Ronaldo is that he's what? His work ethics, his hardworking. He commands what? Results. He's the kind of man every man wants to be like. He's the kind of man every human being look forward to because everybody wants to have results. It's just that we do not have that kind of work ethics. we like the idea of going hard, working so hard and getting things done. But the actual work of doing it, somebody sent me his results. I was so impressed. I told him to send me his account number. He's a Covenant University student. He just finished his first level, an engineering student. And the result was flawless, 5.0 CGPA. So the highest is 5.0. So he got all A's in all his subjects. So that's a flawless result. You can't get better than 5.0. There's nowhere to go to. So I was like, wow, how did you do this? So we're just talking, and then I just told him, please, let me just send you a little token to get yourself ice cream. So the point is, people will follow you when you start commanding results, even if they don't like you. Some celebrities you admire, it's not because you really like their lifestyle, but because they have some results. They are doing certain things well. All right, so you admire them for the result, not necessarily the person. But hopefully, they should have good characters as well. People development. All right, this is one of the place where we try to get. So I'll explain this in further. People development means when you start ensuring that you are making somebody become better. You're not just producing results on yourself. Oh, I'm very good, but then I'm making other people become very good. Ronaldo is not only saying, "Okay, I'm going to be the highest goal scorer." Then he's trying to impact other players, trying to give them that kind of mindset that you can also be great. That's what people development is all about. It's what you have done for them. People follow you because of what you have done for them, the impact you've had on them. And then the last one, pinnacle. They follow you because they admire you, they idolize you, they respect you. You become like a role model to them. I don't know if you have a role model. You can give me an example of a role model, somebody you really admire, you respect, you see them as an icon, they have good character, all right, as side results. A role model, okay, yes. The Alisa Manuba. La Alisa Manuba. What does that person represent? She's a dance. Oh, she's a good dancer. All right. What tell me one thing you like about her. All right, great. Are you a dancer? Okay, but you connect with her and you like her. You like dance. All right, great. Is she better than Michael Jackson? When it comes to dancers, Michael Jackson is not just a good dancer. Michael Jackson is dance. So nobody should ever compare themselves with Michael. Ever, ever, ever. Michael Jackson can just stand like this and his body is just dancing. Michael Jackson, long live Michael Jackson. They did a movie about him. One of his, I think his nephew played him. All right, there's a new movie about him. Actually, his nephew, his brother's son. What? Yeah, Jafar Jackson. I can't remember. It has to do with something about Michael Jackson. Anyways, I look forward to watching that movie. Again, somebody raise up their hand. I need a guy now. Who's your role model, your icon? Somebody you see. Okay. Yes. Yes, you. Your mom. Please come put your hands together for her. Uh, how many siblings do you have? You are the only child. So you are by default the favorite child. What about your mom? Do you admire? She knows how to do what? Achieve things, get things done by herself. Do you see yourself wanting to be that kind of person? Get things done by yourself. Okay, all right. It's very nice. All right, to have such a close role model, somebody that you can see. We have many role models that we can't see. They don't even know we exist. All right, so we have that, but it's always good to have somebody you can see, you can talk to. You are watching their lifestyle every day. One more person, a guy. Yes. Is that a Tottenham footballer? Is that an anime character? No, we don't want anime character. We don't want fictional character. I like Kilo Agun, in Hunter X Hunter, but it's not a real character. The assassin. I like it from the assassin family. But we want a real character. Don't say something funny. I suspect you to say something funny. All right, please read on a real though. How many of you admire your dad? You see your dad as a role model, an icon. All right, great. Somebody I'll talk about mom. How many of you also admire your mom? Your mom. How many of you admire your sibling? You see your sibling as a role model. Which of them? Okay, so for siblings, for you who are the first child or the second child, you have a younger sibling. Don't be shocked if your younger sibling admires you. Don't be shocked. How many of you have a younger sibling? How many of you think your younger sibling kind of like copy you in a way? Your older brother. Oh, your younger brother. Okay, interesting. But there are some times where you're okay, that's cool. That's cool. But it's just for you to be conscious of the fact that if you have a young, please can listen. If you have a younger sibling, they might try to emulate you in certain ways. It might not be very obvious, but there are certain things about you that they would admire and want to emulate. All right, again, level one leadership to be appointed or selected by a group of someone to lead others. People have to follow you because you are in position. This is the lowest level of leadership. You don't have to stay there. You can grow in your influence. So the real thing you are growing in, please come listen. The real thing we are growing in is in our influence. As your influence grows, your level of leadership grows into permission, production, people development, and pinnacle. Yes? Permission level of leadership, please listen. At this level, people follow you because they have a relationship with you. They follow you because they want to, not because they have to. You have earned their trust based on your relationship with them. All right. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. Please come listen. Um, People have said so many times that what you say is not as important as how you make people feel. You understand what I mean? So you can be saying something that is true, but you say it in a way that it comes across as what? A bit harsh or mean. Do you understand what I mean? All right. So it is not the fact that what you are saying is not true. It is how you said it. So we need to learn to be, sensitive, and that's part of what kind of intelligence do you need for this relational leadership, emotional. Don't say this is how I am. Please come listen, class. Nobody should ever say this is how I am. This is my personality. If you can't, survive with me like that, just go find a cup of tea to drink. Everybody can grow in their emotional words, intelligence. You can learn to relate with people and not, just come across as a bit, harsh or saucy or, cold or mean or insensitive or unempathetic or uncaring. So you must learn that people are made up of what? Feelings. In fact, I'm having a conversation right now and the person is feeling somehow. I said, okay, I'm not disregarding sentiments, but we need to be objective in making this decision. So I understand how you feel, but we cannot, base our decision on your feelings only. Otherwise, if we move by your feelings, certain things might not be done well. Nevertheless, I understand you might not feel, particularly great with this decision. So it is all about how you communicate to people. If you are a positional leader, for example, you want certain things to be done. Somebody says to you, I'm having a bit, some stomach upset. And you as the leader say, I don't care how you're feeling. You are to want to get that job done. Please go arrange the bags. That's a big what? Uncaring. All right. So the person can reluctantly do it, but the person would not be drawn to you. They will not want to follow you. You can't inspire that person because even though the job needs to be done, how you communicate matters as well. So that's the thing about permission level of leadership. Any question? I think we'll stop here today. The exercise we need to do is what is the quality every leader must possess to get to the first level? Who knows the answer to this? For what's the first level of leadership? Position. What do you need to be a positional leader? Availability. Just be available. You might not necessarily be the most fit for that role, but because you are the only one willing to take that responsibility, so they appoint you. We talked about this already. What type of intelligence would a leader need in second level of leadership? All right, he answered it very well. Emotional leadership, also social intelligence, social skill. Who is the most social person in this class? Who has good social skills? I mean, the person is friends with everybody, gets along with everybody easily. Anna, who would you consider the most social? Anybody, boy or girl? Okay, the boys. Amongst the boys. Say so. You don't want to call somebody. Who do you think? Destiny. Destiny looked very cool. He looked like a guy that is just a chill, perfect gentleman. Just a chill, perfect gentleman right there. Does no harm, needs no trouble, looks for nobody's trouble. That's a perfect gentleman. Uh, okay, amongst the girl, at least we mention his name. Aisha, a perfect gentle lady. Looks for nobody's trouble. Doesn't want any drama. Only those appointed to a leadership position can function as a leader. True or false? Why? Influence. Thank you very much, Destiny. Why? Regardless position, everybody has what? Influence. Everybody has influence. Whether you're in a position or not, you can make people do things. People can start copying your hairstyle, start copying your dress sense, start copying certain values from you. All right, so thank God that we understand this. Let's go be a great leader. Meaning, let's go make what? Positive what? Influence. As we step to the dining hall, as we're driving, sometimes people are driving and they throw trash on the road. It's not right. All right, let's try as much as possible that whatever we're doing and what people are copying, it is something positive. I'll leave us with this quote. If your actions inspire others to dream more, to learn more, to do more, and become more, you're a what? You're a good leader. John Quincy Adams. Does my action inspire others to do more, learn more, dream more, become more? Or do I make them get in trouble, get suspended, get expelled, get them start drinking, start smoking, into a toxic relationship, get them pregnant? God forbid bad thing. Run away from that kind of what? Influence. There are some musicians that you follow. That is what they're planting in your mind. Keep listening to that song. You find yourself doing things that you should not be doing.